Hello everyone. In this video, we'll be seeing about the types of refrigeration. That is, there are two types of refrigeration system. One is vapor compression refrigeration system and the vapor absorption refrigeration system. So that is the VCR and VAR, vapor compression and vapor absorption. Now let's have a brief look about the vapor compression refrigeration system. So here the most commonly used refrigerants in the vapor compression are dichloro-difluoromethane, which is popularly known as Freon 12 or R12, and the vapor compression refrigeration, it consists of an evaporator made up of coiled tubes installed in the freezing compartment of the refrigerator, and it is connected to the suction side of the compressor and a throttle valve. The delivery side of the compressor is connected to a condenser, which in turn is connected to a throttle valve. So here you can see this is a schematic representation of a vapor compression system. So there is a evaporator, compressor, condenser and a throttle valve. So the exhaust of the evaporator is connected to the inlet of the compressor, and the outlet of the compressor is connected to the inlet of the condenser, and the outlet of the condenser is connected to throttle valve, inlet of the throttle valve, and outlet is connected to the evaporator. So this is made as a cycle. So initially the process, it starts from the evaporator, where it has a low pressure, low temperature vapor state refrigerant. So it moves from evaporator to the compressor, where the pressure is, where the temperature, the compressor, the refrigerant, it enters the compressor with a low pressure, low temperature. Here the compressor, it increases the pressure, so it becomes high temperature, high pressure, low temperature vapor state. So that refrigerant is sent to a condenser. So condenser, the main purpose of this condenser is to remove the convert the refrigerant from vapor phase to liquid phase. Transformation takes place in the condenser. So here the refrigerant, it is entering in a vapor state, and here it is converted into liquid state. So when it is in a vapor state, the temperature will be high, temperature will be high. So the condenser, when it is transfers the refrigerant from vapor to liquid, the heat is removed, so the temperature will be low, and from condenser, it enters the expansion valve or the throttle valve, where when it is passes through the expansion valve, the pressure gets reduced. So here temperature is reduced and the pressure is reduced. When it moves out through the expansion valve, it becomes low temperature, low pressure again. So this is how a cycle works. Here is a small video of how does the vapor compression system works. So this is the arrangement of a vapor compression system, which is popularly used in a refrigeration system. It uses refrigerants like ammonia, R11, R12, that is Freon, Freon 12, Freon 22. So all these are the refrigerants used. So it contains four important parts. One is compressor, condenser, throttle valve and the evaporator. So when the compressor is started, it draws the low temperature, low pressure evaporator, and it compresses to high pressure. And here in the condenser, the vapor is converted into a liquid. So here the heat is removed from the refrigerant, and it is converted into a liquid state. So after that, the refrigerant is passed to the expansion valve or a throttle valve, where the liquid gets converted into vapor of low dryness fraction. So, and finally it again reaches the evaporator. So the process, it starts from evaporator, goes to compressor, condenser, expansion valve, again it reaches the evaporator. So this is a cycle of operation. So applications in refrigeration system. So the main application of this vapor compression system is in the refrigeration system, where the bottom is the condenser, compressor, expansion valve and the evaporator. So this is how the working takes place in a vapor compression system. So the next one is the vapor absorption refrigerator. So this is also most commonly used, the most commonly used refrigerant is ammonia. So in this refrigerator, ammonia liquid is vaporized in the evaporator coils, absorbing the heat from the freezing compartment, keeping it cool, giving off the heat, and when the condenses in a condenser. So this is a schematic arrangement of a vapor absorption refrigeration system. Initially the process, it starts from evaporator. So here evaporator, the refrigerant will be in a vapor state of low pressure, low temperature. From there it goes to the absorber. So in a vapor compression system, we had a compressor. Here the compressor is replaced with an absorber, pump and a generator. So the vapor, it goes to the absorber, and the weak solution, and through the pump it is sent to the generator, where the weak solution, it returns back to the absorber itself, and the strong solution, it goes to the condenser. So it is going in a vapor state, and when it reaches the condenser, it becomes a liquid state, that is phase transformation takes place from vapor to liquid, and the liquid is sent to the receiver. Here expansion valve, the pressure increases and the temperature increases, and again it goes to the evaporator. So this is how the cycle of vapor absorption refrigeration takes place. So the next is the comparison between vapor compression and a vapor absorption system. So a vapor absorption system, it uses a low grade energy like heat, therefore it may be worked on exhaust systems from IC engines, etc. So it uses a high grade energy like mechanical work. Moving parts are only in the pump, which is a small element of the system, hence operation is smooth in a case of a vapor absorption. But here we have a compressor, so that the noise will be more, vibrations will be more. The system can work on low evaporator pressures also without affecting the coefficient of performance. Here the coefficient of performance decreases considerably with decrease in evaporator pressure. No effect of reducing the load on performance. The performance is affected adversely at a partial loads. Liquid traces of refrigerant is present in the piping at the exit, and here there is no the liquid traces, it may damage the compressor. Automatic operation for controlling the capacity is easy, and it is difficult in case of a vapor compression system. And the charging of refrigerant is simple. The charging of refrigerant is difficult in vapor compression system. The part load performance is low, and the no effect of variation in load of vapor compression system. So this is the comparison between vapor absorption and then vapor compression system. So this is about the types of refrigeration system and the comparison between the refrigeration systems. Thank you.